Hey fellow Brick Fanatics, DJ Bricks here, back for another video, and today I have a review on a LEGO Star Wars 2022 summer set. It is the Mandalorian's N-1 Starfighter. It is set number 75325, recommended for building ages 9 and up. Comes with 412 pieces and retails for about $60 here in America, in the United States, and it is based off of Mandalorian season 2.5. I'm sorry, I mean the book of Boba Fett, but this is pretty much a Mandalorian set featuring his new ride that he gets in that season. Without further ado, let's start deconstructing it, seeing how it stacks up, starting as always with the minifigures. Starting our look at the figures with, of course, the Mandalorian. He is pretty much mostly the same from previous versions that we started getting last year. For the Beskar armor, starting off with the accessories, he comes with the Darksaber. Now, unfortunately, it's just normal lightsaber hilt with a black lightsaber blade stuck into it. The designers of the set mentioned that they wanted to make a new mold for the Darksaber, given its continuing importance with the stories that are going on now. But they just didn't get a chance to for this set, so we're just stuck with this basic build for the Darksaber. I mean, it gets the job done kind of fine, but it also looks kind of cheap. But that being said, same torso print as always. It's a very nice torso print. It's very shiny and reflective. Same with the knee pads. The arm printing on both sides is unchanged. Same with the helmet. The helmet's the same. He does come with that jetpack again in a dark gunmetal color, but taking that off, the back torso printing is also the same, so you can get a clear look at that, and you can start to see the new skin tone underneath the helmet here. So taking that off, which is the exact same, we finally have a Din Djarin head to replicate Pedro Pascal. And this starts two new things. This is a new skin tone LEGO came up with. It's called Warm Tan. It's primarily looks to be for helping depict Hispanic people a little bit better. And it is a nice new color. One of the two skin tones there debuting this season. And then it's only one face, but the face they do give him is very nicely done. It does replicate Pedro Pascal pretty well. You got some nice stubble. You got some nice detail for the eyes. You get some facial creases. I don't mind an alternate face because he primarily, when the helmet is off in the show, he just has that one look consistently, so that's perfectly fine for me. And then taking a look at the second figure, Pelimoto, pretty much the mechanic character he befriends on Tatooine there. She comes with a wrench in silver, not that neat of an accessory, but it does fit with her character there. No leg printing, surprisingly, but she does come with that Batman utility belt there in a dark brown color. It's not new in that color, but it has been a while since we got it in that color, so it's got a new part number and everything. Same with her hair piece. That is Dana's from the Ghostbuster set, just recolored. And it's just given a new part number, even though we've had that hair piece in that color before. It's just we haven't had it recently, so new part number. She's got some nice front torso printing, and taking that off and removing her hairpiece, you can see she's got some nice back torso printing as well. There's not really that much detail underneath the utility belt down there, so I'm not gonna waste time taking it off. But both facial expressions that they give to this figure are really well executed, representing the actress pretty well, and that's how the other face looks, highlighted by the hair there. We get Grogu, as we now know his name. You can still call him the child or whatever if you want. It's using the same basic pieces we've been getting since the creation of this figure. It just reuses that baby bottom mold there at the bottom. It's just with green arms that you can clip something the size of a clip or something onto it. The front torso has a really small printing of his outfit, and then the head mold is really well done and really captures the shape of his head pretty well, and the eyes are very nicely printed. And last up, we get a BD droid. This is the same mold that's going to be introduced later this summer with the Jedi Fallen Order set, but we do get it here debuting first. It's completely one piece, molded, very nicely and intricately detailed. You got a bomb stud receptor at the bottom, so you can attach them to whatever stud you want. You got a stud on the back, so you can customize this if you wanted to, but the shape is very nicely well done and accurate for the small size there. And you can see it's got some nice printing on the sides for the arms, and up at the head there's some really fine nice little details printed there, especially on the eyes. That is also really nicely done, and you got some back printing right there on the side as well. But this is a very nicely molded piece, and I look forward to getting more in different colors. Look at the main build of the set, going over the build process first. This was a pretty substantial build here, very involved, a little repetitive, especially when you get to these two engine pods here, but the engine pods themselves, they're very different build-wise for the various greebling detail on these. It's varied up just a little bit, so you have some nice part usage with the ore pieces. You got a nice recolor of that newish piece for this year, that rounded piece with a 2x2 rounded spot in the middle there. That is pretty nice, getting recolors of that already. It's pretty much just what it is in the show. It's a reskinned version of a Naboo Starfighter, so it's pretty much similarly built to previous models. It's just changed up a whole heck of a lot here. You got a sticker there, and there's a few stickers throughout the set, like 3 of them, and they're all decorated, so they're all pretty nice. You got Speed Champion's windscreen there, and plain gray as well. You got some nice detail in here on this side. Little bit of asymmetry here, going for the some of the paint not being consistent on both sides there, so that really is a nice detail. You got a little bit of the ammo gun here, really nicely designed up. Sticker on top of that. And this really wobbles back and forth. That's because down there there's a play feature with that, which we'll get into in a minute. But when that play feature is not fully loaded in, this just is a little bit too loose for my taste. So I really wish they could have done something better there. Flipping this around, you can see some nice shaping used to make the base of this, some nice coloring, some nice dark nougat there. You got the cockpits here, very nicely done, though they are a little foggy just from the newer material and a fair bit scratched up. That seems to be a recurrent thing with that new material there. You get some nice look at the nacelles from the back here with some Technic pieces representing the little engine bursts. You have a nice back fuselage here, going all the way back here. This is a little bit too long compared to the actual in-universe model here, but it is very nicely designed, and you have a nice end tip there. This just is free moving and hinged on, but it's supposed to like stay there just make it look a little bit more connected. So that is something definitely to watch out for. Another thing to watch out for here down here with this part of the engine, this is very loosely connected. It's only studs, not on top. It's not Technique right there, so doesn't want to fully connect half the time, so it is a fair bit loose, and you can knock it loose just with a little bit of rough and tumble play, so that is not really good. And cockpit here just opens up forward like that. You have some nice detail in that cockpit. Some nice brown for the seat there. Again, control panel there. That is a sticker, very nicely detailed. And then back here, didn't mean to do that, but this also hinges up, and that is where you put Grogu. So pretty much for Grogu here, there's a 1x2 plate with a jumper in there. Grogu just attaches on there, fits perfectly, and then you can shut it and he fits in there fine. However, Mando with his seat here, you do have to take the light dark saber out of his hand, and you have to take the jetpack off, so just so he can fit, but he does fit very nicely, and he does have a nice headrest down there, and he fits pretty snugly there. But another cool thing with this set, the jetpack and the darksaber, the designer actually thought of that, and this part can come up and be removable. So in there, you have a nice, spacious interior to hold accessories, which is really cool that the designer actually thought of that. And you can just put the jetpack in there. Darksaber, you pretty much have to deconstruct into its two elements there, but that fits in there pretty nicely as well. And you can just close it back up, and you get nice storage spot for his accessories. So I love seeing that with Lego, them putting spots for accessories, because that is very vital. You don't want kids losing play items, and just overall not very good. I will say a little build issue. These kind of want to twist back and forth. They do come up and loose every once in a while, so watch out for that. But going down into this play feature, pretty much there is a spring-loaded shooter down right here in a single spot, and it does give you a red bolt here, and you just load it up. And to fire it, again, you just take this piece, and you just lay it off, and that flew right back and hit me, so that does have some power. But that is nice. That is really nice that you can just hold this thing, swish it about, and then put your thumb there to fire it off. But again, there's a little bit of a stability issue with that because that top tile is just connected via like 2 studs, so a little stability issue there as well. But overall, I think that this was a very nice build. It looks the part. It's very fun to play with, and overall, very nice model. At the extra pieces, you do get a brick separator in the set, just due to all the Technic work in it. You do get 2 extra spring-loaded shooters, ammo pieces for that. They are designated, and then pretty smattering of extra studs, tiles, lightsaber hilts. Pretty interesting to note here. You get the utility belt in dark brown there as an extra piece. You get an extra Baraki eye. You get an extra one of these nice spire pieces as an extra piece, so that is pretty nice. Now looking at the instructions, it's confined to one large bound booklet here. Of course, on the front cover you have that new controversial design going forward for the instructions. I don't mind it too much. I think it looks fine. It does lose a bit of the coolness of just having the box art be the front of the cover, but this is fine too. My only real gripe here is the product shot of the set. Here is a render of the set, not an actual build, so that if they could actually just have that actual product shot of the set, I wouldn't mind, but that just looks terrible to me. Pretty standard instruction manual here. Front cover, of course, goes into the building app, and you have the little blurb there about how they're transitioning into product plastic free packaging, so that we're going to start seeing some paper bags in the set. And build was pretty straightforward here. Only real issue I have is on one of these pages here where there's a misprint. We are here on page 78. The red 1x2 with a jumper on it in this page here is shown as an orange, and that threw me for a loop when I was building it. So it's weirdly correct in like the part call out, but then you see it in the that part of the instruction doesn't really look right. When they have you build the other pod of the car, that's correct. So I don't know what was going on there, but I thought I'd call it out. And then back of the instruction manual, you just have a cross sell for some Star Wars sets, and of course it's all the sets featuring Boba Fett there for Book of Boba Fett. So you have the Slave one, and then you have the 2 kind of sets based off of Book of Boba Fett, but not really. And that's it. You have a parts inventory, and then you have the win on the back here with a robot. So taking a look at the box, it's at standard about $50 to $60 price point size per box. We got the general aesthetic that got introduced earlier this year with the black parts greebling in the corner there, stripe of color down the side there to denote which part of the franchise it's from. Here it's using a dark green color for the Book of Boba Fett, and you can see down there in the bottom left corner you got a Lego Fight version of the Book of Boba Fett promotional material with Boba Fett and Fennec Shand there in the corner, which is really nice, even though this is really not a Book of Boba Fett set. You got the figures in the bottom left corner there, bottom right, excuse me, in the corner there. Green background for that. A nice product shot of the set overall, and against a Tatooine there. You got Peli Moto there supporting the actual size reference, again using that green color. And then the back of the box just shows a little bit of the hangar of Peli Moto's little garage workshop area with nice product shots of some of the features of the set there. Not to get into my final thoughts for the set, pretty much going over the build. It was a very enjoyable build, very nicely designed, very well put together. Does have some stability issues, however, as noted in the video. The stability with a little shooter play feature, some of the engine doesn't want to, stay, isn't that well attached. Let's just put it that way. A little bit oversized compared to what it is in the actual universe, but a lot of ships in Star Wars are admittedly either underscaled or overscaled compared to correct minifigure scale, so that's just par for the course. I did like the fact that they did incorporate some nice storage space for Mando's weapons and stuff. So I will always give credit where it's due when a designer takes that into account there. So that deserves some praise. But overall, build was pretty enjoyable. Minifigures, no real. For what we get a new head for Mando, which is long overdue, quite honestly, since we've known what he looks like underneath that helmet for a couple years now, that they're finally getting around to giving us a Pedro Pascal head for Din Djarin there. Really nice, and it does introduce a brand new skin tone for characters going forward. So double pluser, but 2 steps forward, 1 step back. The Darksaber, as Lego represents it, still continues just to be barely passable. Just a black rod and a lightsaber hilt does not do the Darksaber justice. It just quite doesn't. So 2 steps forward, 1 step back again. So there that is. Peli Moto, not really a character I thought we'd ever get, considering her character in the show is kind of just there, and only in a few episodes, so it really is nice getting her. This is the perfect set to include that character. Of course, we get Grogu, and we do get a new mold for the BD droid introduced a little bit later in the summer here of in the actual Jedi Fallen Order set that we're going to get. But this one is pretty nice too for BD-72 there. Really nicely printed. That is a really well done mold. Quality, I'm just gonna harp on this, but the windscreens in my set, again, kind of foggy, kind of a little bit scratched up there, so didn't really pick it up that well on camera, I don't think, but when you see it in person, it just doesn't look good. And then I had my issues with the instruction book. The cover there, again, continue to harp on this. That is just really partially bad design in my opinion. But page 78 in the instructions where you had that misprint of the wrong color part, that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And overall, $60 US for this set. I know with inflation it's going to go up to about $70 in like a month or so. But I'm going to judge it by its current retail price, which is when it was released. $60 for this set. Looking at this, you definitely get $60 of a ship here. It's very nicely detailed and very well put together. Very nicely designed set. Again, has its issues, but I do appreciate that all $60 of the set actually feel like it went into the you actually feel like you got $60 here, I feel. All in all, this set does get a 6.5 out of 10 for me. It's partially low of a score, just due to all the stability issues, the Darksaber, the instruction quality issues. So that's what, overall it's a good set. It's just had a lot of things working against it. But again, highly recommend this set if you're a Star Wars fan, if you want Mando's new ship, as it's going to become more prominent as we get into the release of Season 3 here pretty soon. Anyway, don't forget to comment below. Let me know what you think about the set. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I always look forward to having a discussion with you guys down there. And don't forget to share, subscribe, ring that bell, smash that like button. All that stuff that just really helps the channel grow and feed that algorithm that YouTube has for some stupid reason. But that does it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Until next time, stack on.